apart from just running and viewing the out-the-box reports, you can make changes to them as well, allowing you to do things like add your company logo, edit the title, or even add and remove columns and rows if you want. This is helpful in that if you need a little customization, you don't have to start a new design from scratch. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can do this, which will also provide an introduction to the online report designer. I've displayed my balance sheet report again, which I ran out in the last lesson to remind you what it looks like, and am now going to go back to the financials folder. You may remember from the first lesson that out-the-box reports are locked in the sense that you can't edit or delete them. Creating a copy of one, however, removes this restriction. By clicking the copy button, you're asked to give your new one a name. For now, I'm just going to call mine Current Annual Balance Sheet. Pressing the Edit button will open the report in the Online Report Designer, and I'm going to go ahead and do this. This may be the first time that you're viewing the designer, so I'm going to give you a quick tour around, as well as make some basic changes to my report. At the top is the navigation bar, which you can use to return to the home page or the Financials folder, as well as access the Data Load dialog if you need to. The large pane below on the left gives the structure of the report, including a space for a logo, then the title, the rows down the left, and the columns across the top. By selecting each of these areas, or in the case of the rows and columns, the edit icon above them, the options for them become available in the task pane to the right. Then to the far right is the action panel, which provides some high-level functions for the report. I'll talk more about these in a bit. The first change I want to make is to add a logo. After selecting the item, you can use the Choose Logo button to navigate to the image you want, and it will be inserted. It's important not to pick something too big, as it may take up too much space while in the designer, or once the report is run. Once one is in place, you can use the Change or Remove Logo buttons to swap it out or delete it. The title of the report initially is the one given to it when the new instance is made. You can, however, change it. By selecting the area, you can use the field on the right to do so. I'm going to amend mine to say Current Annual Balance Sheet Edit. This will be shown when the report is run, but take note that because it's for display purposes, it doesn't change the original name used in the Financials folder. I'm now going to talk about the columns and rows. As mentioned earlier, by selecting the Edit icon above each area, a number of options for them are shown, which are similar between both columns and rows. These include a few different ways to add new items, the ability to save a set to be used later on, and the ability to clear an area entirely. There are also different types of columns and rows that can be added. For example, ones used to pull values from your general ledger, ones used to create calculations like total assets, equity plus liabilities or variances, and one used simply to provide headings or separators to group items. By selecting an individual row or column, the properties for it are shown, and you can make changes to them if you like. Some examples here are editing a title, changing the account that a row refers to, or in the case of a column, using a different formula for it. If you'd like to remove an individual row or column, you can do so by selecting it and clicking the small X that appears next to it. Or, if you'd like to add a new one in place, you can do so using the plus icon. You can also move items around just by dragging them. I'm not going to worry about making any detailed changes to mine now, but all of these options and properties will become clear in the upcoming videos. If you've made changes to a layout, you'll need to save them, which you can do using the disk icon in the action panel on the right. I'm sure you know that saving at regular intervals is good practice to make sure none of your work is lost. You can also generate your report using the Run button, but before being able to do so, the filters for it need to be selected. These are accessed using the funnel icon and are the same as those shown when running a report from the Financials folder. Instead of going through them again, I'm going to jump ahead to where the selections I want have been made. I can now click Run. The report is loaded in the same window, and I can start analyzing the information. When you do so, in case columns appear to have missing values, remember that the right data needs to be loaded, which you can amend using the Data Load dialog and running the report again. You can also see that in this instance, the report headings take up a lot of space. However, to make viewing the data easier, you can hide them if you want using the up and down arrow above them. To end off, I want to show you how to delete a report. So I'm going to go back to my Financials folder. You'd obviously only want to do this if you're certain that you no longer need it. By clicking the Delete button, you're asked to confirm that this is what you want to do. And then by clicking OK, it is removed from the folder, keeping things neat and tidy. To view other videos in this series, go to youtube.com/sageintelligence. Also, connect with us at sageintelligence.com and sageintelligencecommunity.com. And if you'd like to brush up on your Excel skills, check out our online courses at sageintelligenceacademy.com. Lastly, we love feedback. So if you found this video useful, please like it and share it on your social media channels.